What's up, everybody? It's T, and I got something new that I wanted to talk about today. And I say it's new just because I've yet to discuss anything like this previously on the channel, and that is pedals and pedalboard setups. I'm not going to go too in depth on what we got going on here. However, I wanted to share with everybody a new way that I think it's new, a new way to solve a couple issues that I've had in the past with pedalboards and setting up pedalboards for use in terms of in studio or rehearsing as well as playing live. And that is, I've ran into situations where I wanted to be able to switch out pedals to use for different reasons, different purposes. Because I like to, I don't want to carry a massive pedal board and I'm only using like 3 pedals. So what I've done is I've kind of came up with a system where it's very easy to move pedals in and out while still being able to kind of prevent some stuff that I've had happen in the past where I've tried to figure out how to attach pedals to boards that I carry without having to permanently alter them. So I came up with this system and I'm going to share it with you all. Now the first thing you need is some type of pedal, or it doesn't even have to be a pedal, it can be a power supply, anything that you want to carry or you plan on carrying on your pedal board, channel switchers, any type of foot pedal, all that kind of stuff we're going to be using and we're going to be applying this method to. The second thing is the materials that you're going to need. I'm going to include those right now. So over here on this camera, I'm going to show you what we need. I'm using some super glue. This is Loctite super glue. I recommend the liquid super glue. Probably doesn't matter what brand. This is just what I happen to get. The next thing you're going to need is a roll of Velcro. Now this is a roll I got from monoprice.com. You can get about 50 yards of it for a couple bucks. So it's not bad. They have different colors. They have different widths. I'm not sure what this is. It may be an inch or so. It could be 3/4 inch. Anyways, you can get a whole roll of this pretty cheap from monoprice.com. That's where I would say is the best place to get it. So here it is, just a roll that comes from the package like this. Nothing fancy. The next thing you're going to need, something I think is very important for pretty much all type of guitarists to have, and that is gaff tape. It's also called Gaffer's tape. It's basically a lot like duct tape. However, it's not duct tapey in the sense that it doesn't leave a residue, and that's what's most important with gaff tape, and it's also more expensive than duct tape, as you're going to find out. Other than that, we're going to have a pair of scissors so I can cut some of the stuff, and then whatever you're using for a board, it doesn't really matter. As you can kind of see through here using this camera here to the side, you see these black strips going across this piece of board I have here. That's literally just this Velcro. It's the same Velcro. I just stapled it in using a carpentry stapler, so that way it sticks onto the board. A lot of boards, in fact the case that I use, it's lined with Velcro, so I don't even have to have a board. I just do it for various reasons. I like to run my cables from my power supply underneath it instead of having a bunch of cables all over the place. Other than that, like I said, you can just stick them to this case, or a lot of other cases on the market, they come with that type of Velcro option as well. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a pedal and we're going to first, so let's look at, I have my MXR GTOD here, and as you can see, I've previously used this in a setup, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's like a film, and what this was, I think it came with like a little sticky sheet of Velcro, and I put it on here, and when I wanted to remove it, as I peeled it off, the adhesion part of the Velcro sheet stayed onto the back foam of the pedal, which was, I mean, it is what it is, but at the same time, this is something I'm trying to avoid. So in order to kind of move forward and not have to worry about an issue like this in the future, I'll employ the method that I'm getting ready to describe, and that is, first we're going to take gaff tape, and we're going to cut it in a way that we can basically surround the entire bottom of the pedal. I don't use batteries. I always use a power supply, so the fact that this pedal, it's closed from the bottom with screws, that's not really going to matter because I'm not going to be going in there anyways. If you're in a situation where you want to use this method and you're using a pedal to where you can only get to it from the bottom, it's not a bad idea to work around the screw so you can still pop it off. But like I said, I don't use batteries, so I don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to cover up the entire bottom and not worrying about having to get back in there. So that's what we're going to do now. And I'm going to go ahead and use some editing magic to get to the point where you can see kind of what's going on. So pay attention. So now we got a strip of tape. I like to layer it, let's see, go halfway across. I'll usually have about maybe 1/4 inch sticking out over the bottom of the plate itself. We'll wrap it around. Of course you want to make sure you're not covering up either the power adapter slots or the 1/4 inch slots for the cables, because those obviously need to be usable. So we'll have that, fold it down, Bring it down as well, so we get this whole situation right here, as you can see. So I'm going to do that again so I can cover the entire bottom of the pedal. It's not a bad idea to kind of measure out what you're doing, but I live on the edge, so I just kind of eyeball it and hope for the best. And you can do this as neat or as sloppily as you want. The best part is when you're done and you don't want to have the tape on here anymore, it'll peel right off, and because it's gaff tape and not regular duct tape, it won't leave residue. So as you can see, we've got the entire bottom of it covered up now. However, let's see, our 9-volt adapter plug is still open, as well as our 1/4 inch for the patch cables. That's all good to go. Of course, you don't want to cover any of that stuff up. So this is the first part. So next we want to take the Velcro itself, and as you probably already imagined, what we'll be doing is we'll be taking the super glue and we're going to super glue strips of the Velcro to the tape. The super glue itself is only attached to the Velcro and the tape. It's not going to go through the tape. It's not going to attach to the pedal in any way, shape, or form. So when you do peel it off, you don't have to worry about any damage happening to the pedal. That's pretty much the beauty of this technique. You're not damaging your pedal. However, you're getting to the point where if you're going to be using it regularly, you can swap it in and out of your pedal board using a Velcro system. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the pedal itself. I have the soft end of the Velcro. They call it hook and loop. That's what you're going to see because Velcro is trademarked. So Monoprice calls it hook and loop. So that means I want to have the actual, like the hook part or the rougher part facing out. That way when I do attach it to my pedal board, it'll actually stick to the Velcro as opposed to just bouncing off of it, which would of course delete the whole purpose of what we're trying to do. So I'm taking the strip I just cut, I'm laying it on top of the tag end of the Velcro roll that I'm working off of so I can pretty much cut everything to be the same size. It doesn't matter if you do this, of course, but in order to help my anxiety level decrease itself, I try to go ahead and do things like that just to preserve a little bit of order and organization in what I do. Alright, so now we have our pedal with the tape on it, and I've just cut out 3 strips of approximately equal length of the Velcro here. And because I want the rough end or the hook end to be facing down, just keep that in mind, of course. You don't want to put it on wrong. I know I need to glue the soft end, and then I'm going to attach it, push it onto the pedal because it's super glue. It only takes about 10 seconds or so, if that, to hold it on there before it's on there for good. So I'll have that, and I'll try to make sure I can get this to where you can see it. I have my super glue here. Hopefully it hasn't dried out. It doesn't look like it has. What I'll do is I'm just going to go ahead and lay it down right here in front of me. That way I don't have to worry about any excess getting onto the pedal or the pedal board itself. There's no real magic to this process. I just get enough on, especially around the edges because you don't want the edges to peel up. So I'll get close to the edges. Although because it is a liquid, it will kind of seep around. So don't get too frustrated with that whole process. So I'm going to hold the edges. I'm going to stick right here onto the edge of the pedal itself. Once it grabs, so you don't have to worry about putting any weight or anything on it. I go over it and I kind of just hold it down for all of 5 seconds, if that, and then that's good to go. That's not going anywhere. So again, this is gluing onto the tape itself. That glue is not going through the tape. It's not attaching to anything on the pedal. It is going to be right here on the tape, holding the pedal down. Once I stick it on to the Velcro, it'll be going on, which is on my board here in front of me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for the other 2 strips that I've cut, just to get the entire bottom of the pedal covered with the Velcro. So as you can kind of see, I've covered the bottom with the 3 strips of Velcro that I cut. You can still see where the tape overlaps just because I had it come over this edge of the pedal, but you can do it flush if you want. That's not a problem. And the way that is, as you can tell, how I have my board set up here with the Velcro, I can just stick it on. I usually give a little wiggle just because I just do. And that's on there. I can pick up this whole board, and I've got more pedals on here, so this is a couple pounds. It's not going anywhere. I just glued these strips on there. They're not going anywhere. So that's good to go. So now I can throw this on my board when I need it there, move it around. So for example, these 3 pedals that I have here, they've already been Velcroed. So I'll go ahead and show you real quick. I did these a couple weeks ago. No issues of the tape sticking on good. All of the Velcro pieces, the glue's holding them on tight. So I have these 4 pedals. So for example, I got my tuner right here. Tuner usually goes first in the chain just to make sure we're in tune. I've got a noise suppressor. I've also got a compressor pedal. I'll go ahead and do the compressor pedal, noise suppressor, and then just did the GTOD here with the Velcro. That'll go on next. And they're there. They're not going anywhere. I can't shake them off. They're stuck. But if it got to the point where I wanted to either just phase out a pedal from my pedal board, or maybe if, like earlier I was saying, if I wanted to sell one, just be able to peel it off. I'd peel the tape off. The Velcro would come with it. Super glue doesn't go through the tape, so you'd be good to go. But for the most part, that's kind of what we're doing here. So this is something I would say go ahead and try it out. I'm going to put links in the description of this video to where I got my tape from. You can get the super glue pretty much wherever. And again, like I said, Monoprice has what they call hook and loop tape. And like I said, it's a couple bucks for, you know, I think it's 25 or 50 yards. I would say get a couple rolls of it. It's less than 10 bucks. Great investment. And you can use the excess stuff you got around the house for other projects that you got going on. So that's what I do. If you got questions about any of this, please let me know. Ask in a comment below or shoot me a message. At some point in the near future, I'm going to do an in-depth kind of thing with my pedal board. I just haven't got it set up yet just because I don't have an amp right now to use it with because the tubes blew in my Marshall, goddammit. So yeah, thanks for watching. Again, any questions, let me know below. Other than that, check out this system. If you like it, share it with other people that you may know that may be able to benefit from it as well. See you all soon.